Recording. Perfect. So we'll send this out to everyone. So today's class is creating Facebook ads when you don't have a listing. So the reason for this course is essentially we all seen Facebook ads pop up of how popular they are running them through command. And agents have had a lot of success running them on running listings, but we all know sometimes we might not have a listing available for us to advertise, whether we don't have one or can't find an agent in our office to run an ad on. So what can we do in this situation? Well, in today's class, we're going to be going over some different strategies and ideas about creating Facebook ads when you don't have a listing. We're going to do more primarily buyers facing ads, but we will talk a little bit about seller facing ads as well. So to get started, my name's Garrett Stewart, and I live in Reno, Nevada. So I've been a real estate agent for 6 years. I've held the role, and that's 4 years with Keller Williams, and then 2 years I was an agent up in Oregon. So I've held the role of our market center tech trainer pretty much for most of those 4 years. And I've been the regional tech trainer for the Southwest region, which I oversaw all of our Arizona and Nevada offices for tech. I utilized Command to run my real estate business since February of 2019. So basically, as soon as Command came out, I jumped on the opportunity. I love technology, and I just jumped headfirst right into it. So I've kind of been able to grow with it over time, and I've fallen in love with all the different features it has. I started Command Console in May of 2020, and Command Console is a consultation type business around Command. So with that, I've helped agents across the country and Canada, and helping them do consultations through Command. So there's so many awesome trainings out there. I understand there's a bunch of YouTube videos. Marty Miller's 66-Day Challenge. If you haven't checked that out, I highly recommend that one. But there's a lot of other videos, training on YouTube, KW Connect, and of course our Facebook groups. And so it can be a little bit overwhelming with all the training out there. So I started Command Consult to help agents with that one-on-one type consultation for training. And with that training, help them grow their business a little bit more. I understand every agent's time is very valuable. And so being able to help them utilize that time is on a one-on-one consultation can be a little bit more beneficial for them. I also help with things like setting up agent websites and things like that. So if you have any questions on that, the website's just commandconsult.com, and you can check it out there if you want to see more information. So let's get going. So today's goals for today, we're going to talk about taking the necessary preparations for ads. We're going to learn some best practices when creating ads. We're going to go over common issues. So a lot of times people have issues when they created their ads, trying to create them and not having success. So how can we prevent that from happening? Then we're going to go over ad ideas and kind of mastermind around that about different things that I've done, and maybe we could talk about some things that you guys have done. Then we're going to go over a demo of setup and ad creation, and just a little bit of background on that. And then, of course, we're going to do a little Q&A at the end. My goal is to have this course run for an hour. So if the Q&A might go a little bit over, I'm fine with that. So hopefully you guys can stick around for the whole thing. But again, this is recorded if you have to go early. And I have all your emails from when you registered. So welcome to Zoom. Let's go over some rules. First one I want to go over is use your mute. So I want you guys all right now to go look and see if you are muted. If you are not muted, please hit mute, because the person that I had set up to kind of monitor to make sure no one was unmuted ended up not being able to make it today. So with that said, if you can just help me get through this a little bit easier and just make sure you stay muted. If you have a question or anything, feel free to unmute and ask your question. But otherwise, please try to stay muted throughout the call. It just makes things go a lot smoother. If you have questions, again, you can unmute or post them in the chat. I'll be looking over every few minutes to see if we have any questions in the chat. All right, so let's start with posting your service area in the chat. So let's get a little engagement from everyone. So we have currently 70 people on the call. If you want to comment in the chat where you're from, that would be awesome. Love to see where everyone's from. Welcome, Michael, from Raleigh, North Carolina. Look at all that, all over the place. So a few Hawaii people in there, Texas, Grand Rapids, Michigan. Awesome. Very cool. Thank you. I want to keep this open and positive. You know, Zoom calls can be a little bit boring sometimes, so I try to be as energetic as possible. So let's just create a positive energy around here, and feel free to jump in if you have anything you want to contribute. Offer any ideas. While I am good at command, I cannot say I'm a Facebook master. I'm still learning, and I think everyone is. So if you have ideas that maybe you've tried, maybe a little bit different, tweak it, anything like that, feel free to offer them up. I like this to be a learning experience for everyone, and I normally take things away from people in my classes as well. So please feel free. And as you know, we have a lot of people. We're up to 75 now on here. And if it might be a few minutes before I am able to answer a question in the chat. If you see a question in the chat and maybe you know the answer, feel free to jump in and just answer it in the chat. That'll help me out and speed things along even a little bit faster too. So let's get going. I want to start with a survey. Let's see. So I'm going to launch this poll. We'll just go for 30 seconds. Let's go ahead and launch that. Hopefully everyone can see that. And it's how many Facebook ads have you ran through command? Kind of just want to get an idea of where everyone stands on here. And I see some people throwing it in the chat. Hopefully something popped up for you to answer it on the poll if you haven't, but looks like right now a lot of not yet's in there. So very interesting results. We'll give it about 10 more seconds. Sorry, Plaid Dad. I had no plaid today. I actually have my command shirt on today. So, all right. Let's end this poll now in 3, 2, 1, ending. All right. So I'll just share this results with everyone. Out of the 75 polled, I don't think everyone answered. I think 65 answered. 32 of you said not yet. So almost half haven't ran an ad yet. So coming in second is 14 people with 6+ ads. So that's awesome. We kind of have a full range of people in here. So my goal today is help you get some more ads going and get a little bit more, maybe be a little bit more creative on some different ads that might stand out for you. So let's get going here. So I want to start at the very beginning of prepping for your ad. Since we do have a lot of people that might not have run an ad yet, first thing you want to do is make sure you've completed your marketing profile in command. If you have not completed your marketing profile, you can, if you need help with that, here's a little trick. I don't have this in my slides, but if you ever need help with any things set up, go to answers.kw.com. Great resource for answering a lot of command questions. So if you just type in marketing profile in there, it's going to walk you through how to set that up. So great resource for anything, getting things set up in command. And then once you set up your marketing profile, you need to set up your social platforms in your settings as well. There's 2 different Facebook connections you need to make. Well, technically there's only one you need to make for a Facebook ad, but there's 2 Facebook connections. If you're going to run a Facebook, anything on Facebook, there's 2 Facebook connections you need to plug in. There's one for Ads Manager, and then there's one for social posting. So if you're scheduling out posts and things like that, that's what that's for, and then one's for ads. So just so you know, if you think you've connected your Facebook and it's not working, go double check and make sure that you have the Facebook Ads Manager one connected and not just the social scheduler. And then once you've got that all set up, then you're going to want to start thinking about your goal. What's your goal of creating the ad? Now, most of you on this call are probably to get some leads, right? So if our goal is to get some leads on here, then of course we're going to go for lead capture. Then start thinking about your budget. How much do you want to spend? My suggestion is starting out a little bit smaller as you start to figure out how the algorithms work and the do's and don'ts, and then start expanding from there. So you can do as little as $1 a day, and you can do as much. I've seen people do $30, $40 a day running ads. Now, just be conservative at first and kind of scale up, because if you're running $40 a day, and let's just say you ran a really good ad and we're getting 50 cents a lead, that's 80 leads coming in if you ran a $40 ad. So just some things to think about when you're creating these ads is how you're going to manage these leads when they come in. So don't overwhelm yourself with a bunch of leads that you're not going to be able to connect with. And then figure out what platform you're going to run it on. Now, today I'm going to be focusing on Facebook directly. So, but you can connect it into Instagram as well. All right, then once you do that, we're going to need to prep your designs and content. So start thinking about what type of ad you're going to create. We're going to go over some ad ideas in a little bit and figure out what you want to, some different ad ideas. And once you figure out your idea, then you're going to need to come up with some content. So are we going to just post some pictures? Are we going to create some cool designs within Designs in Command? How are we going to come up with that content? Because obviously you're going to want some pictures or video to display on the Facebook ad. So think of that content, and then make sure to keep your text short. Less is more. So basically anything you put on your Facebook images that you're posting on the ad, you don't want very much text. So start thinking about what type of content you want on there. You're going to want to prep your landing page or end destination, essentially. So once they click on your Facebook ad, they submit their information to you. Where do they go next? So if you're advertising homes in the Reno area that are under $400,000, well, you're probably going to want to send them to your KW agent website set up with that search set up in it. So start thinking about that. So if you need to figure out, if you haven't set up your KW agent site, you may need to get that set up. That's under the consumer tab in Command, and you can walk through the Kelly guide to get that set up if you need help. Or again, we talked about answers.kw.com, and that can help you as well. Or again, I can always help with agent site setup if you're looking to hire that out as well. So if you need help with that, I would definitely make sure you get your agent site set up if you're going to be sending people to that page. Whoops, jumped ahead. And then make sure you have a lead maintenance and follow-up smart plan ready when the leads start rolling in. Now, I've seen tons of agents make this mistake when running Facebook ads. They create an ad and then they're like, awesome, I got a bunch of leads. They're all excited. And then a couple weeks go by. I ask them, like, how did those ads and leads go through? And you're like, it didn't work. Didn't get any business from it. Well, first of all, leads are, especially through Facebook, a lot of times they're going to be more of a long-term type nurture. Most of them aren't ready to buy today or tomorrow. They're 3 months out, they're 6 months out, they might be 12 months out. So you've got to create a plan to follow up with them over time. They're also statistically not going to answer their phone or reply back to you until I believe it's the seventh touch on average. So if you're just calling once or twice and they don't answer, send them a text or something like that and they're not replying, and you're not getting a connection and they don't work, well, that's your fault. You want to make sure that you have a follow-up plan that's constantly connecting with them on a regular basis. That could be every few days, that could be once a week. Normally smart plans, I'm gonna go over smart plans in a little bit, but normally you kind of go heavy up front to try to make a connection, and then as it spreads out, start nurturing them every once a week, every other week or something like that, so they're constantly seeing things from you. All right, some best practices when creating ads. Keep all text short and simple, and use videos where you can. So if you have some videos, video content on ads, That can always be helpful as well. But make sure you don't have a big swarm of ad or text on your ad. You must target 15 miles at least minimum for an ad. That's a Facebook policy for anything housing related. You can go between 15 and 50 miles. Give them a snack, not the full meal. So essentially, make sure you're just not giving away all the value before they give you their info. So while this is more standard for listing type ads, such as like giving them the address of the listing, this can also be applicable to a lot of other ads in here. So just make sure you create that value and then have them give the info to get the value from you. Be familiar with the Facebook ad policy. So if ads are getting rejected, things like that, you're probably missing something on ad policy. Use the Facebook lead capture page if you want leads. There's a landing page option you can pick for lead form, and that's more for if you want impressions and click-throughs and not necessarily leads. Be specific in naming your campaign. When you choose a name of your campaign, that's a campaign that only you can see that name of the campaign. This is going to get tagged onto every lead you get so you know where they come from. If you just say Facebook ad as the campaign name, you're going to have no idea what the details of that Facebook ad were. So being a little bit more specific, so in a month from now, you try to reach out and connect with that lead again, you know exactly what type of ad they clicked on. And so you can reach out to them and say, hey, I saw you were looking at homes under $400,000 in Reno. And then you can start the conversation there. So just be sure you know exactly what they clicked on and how you'll be able to remember that a month from now, 3 months from now, 6 months from now. Use your resources. Now I'm going to go over a few different resources in a bit of what you can use to help you get material for these ads and things. And again, answers.kb.com is an awesome resource as well. So feel free to use that and use the Facebook groups for masterminding. Schedule out your week and month. So if you're trying to get so many leads a month, maybe your goal is to have, I want 100 new leads every single month. Well, figure that out. That's 25 a week. So that's 5 a day if you're running ads 5 days of the week. So figure out and work backwards to figure out how often you need to run ads to hit that quota to get the business you want. If you're going to target your database, now I'm not going to really go into this today, targeting your database, but that is a potential Facebook ad you could do, is where you can display a Facebook ad only to people that are in your database. But in order to do that, their Facebook profile must have an email address that's connected to their Facebook account. And that's the most efficient, or that's one way, but the most efficient way is to actually have their Facebook URL saved in the social media part of their contact. So you are able to do that. It's just a little bit more time consuming for a setup process to do that, but it could pay off later down the line. Experiment with different durations, daily ad spend, interests, and more. So what I mean by that is you can choose to run a Facebook ad for 1 day. You could choose to run it for 15 days. Whatever you choose, experiment with it. I've seen success with agents running ads for 3 days, and some have run it even longer for 10 days and had even better success. So it changes over time and how successful it is. So see what's going to work for you and how your results are for each one. Same with daily ad spend. You can do as little as $1. I would definitely start low of, maybe $1, $3 a day, something like that, maybe even $5 a day, and then work up to something you feel most comfortable with. Play with the interests and see what your results are as well. So what are some common issues with these Facebook ads? Well, first thing, you get rejected ads, you get mediocre results, and you have trouble. And what are these issues that are causing these 3 things? Well, most common is too much text on the image. So first thing I want to show you off these slides is Facebook actually has a really cool tool used for Facebook So I'm gonna just click on here, and there is a text overlay tool. So all it is facebook.com/ads/tools/text_overlay. Now, there's a shortcut when setting up an ad. There's a button actually to do it through Facebook ads to get directly here. But there, I actually have this this site saved. So that way, if I ever am unsure of an ad, if it's going to run, I can actually just upload an image and know if it's going to be okay. Let me actually, I wasn't planning on it, but I will just demonstrate this for you real quick. So I'm going to just tease one of the things I was going to be running today. And because I actually did this myself, I chose a picture of an ad and I was like, is this going to be too much text on it? You know, price reduced homes in Reno. There you go. Is that going to be? And so from here, I can see, oh, image text okay, your ad will run normally. So these are the different ones that will help you identify if your ad's going to run okay or not. If there's too much text, it's going to not get shown to as many people. So you want to make sure you don't have too much text on your images when you are doing it. I've seen some people that are just full of text. What is that page again? It's facebook.com/ here. Actually, I'm going to just post it in the chat so everyone can copy it if they want to. There you go. It's in the chat box for everyone watching live. So feel free to click on that, copy it, whatever. So you can always use that as a resource if you're unsure on running ads. Okay, back to this. Okay, so that's a big thing, too much text on an image. Broken links. So basically, if you're running an ad and the link that you're sending them to after they submit their information is not enough, or it doesn't go to a working site. Alcohol is mentioned. Obviously, we're not going to be mentioning alcohol probably too often in occasions. The only time I've really seen is agents giving away bottles of wine or wine served at an open house or something. But just be aware, alcohol mentioned in Facebook ads will normally get declined or rejected. Misalignment of text and expected outcomes. So essentially, you're saying, hey, you're going to look at homes when you click this, and you send them to something completely different for maybe a political site or something like that. Basically, they're just misaligned. They're not going to the right thing. It could get reported and then in turn get rejected. Confusing impressions and leads. So people aren't sure exactly their impression rate to lead rate and all that stuff. So people just get a little bit of confusion of what all those numbers mean. This one's a really common issue I help agents with, and that is using your landing page. That's what LP is, landing page, instead of the Facebook lead capture form. So while we're still technically sending them to a landing page, maybe that's our KW agent website, what are we using for the lead capture form? So for a lead capture form, you could utilize a, if you're using the Facebook lead capture, that's automatically going to capture the client's name, their email address, and phone number that they have associated to their Facebook account. So when you have these items associated to your account, it's automatically going to be inputted when they click on your ad. So I'm just going to show you kind of what that looks like when they click on your ad. So here's an example of an ad I'm running. They click on it. They're like, oh, learn more. Well, look at that. It's it has the opportunity to capture all that. Now, because this is my own ad, it doesn't autofill my information, but it would have this autofilled for me. So all I have to do is hit the next button and it'll automatically upload all this to my command account. They do have the opportunity to change it technically to before I hit that next button, but in most cases, everyone's in the process of I want it now or I want it 5 minutes ago. And so if that's the case, more than likely they're less likely to change their information to something scammy. The only issue I see with this is sometimes people set, like I think I've been on Facebook for 11 years now. My email has changed. I've updated that in my account, but some people haven't updated their email. Some people haven't updated their phone number. And so like my original email for Facebook was my AOL account. I don't use my AOL account anymore. With that, if some people haven't updated it, they might not be seeing those emails. They might not be, they might have changed phone numbers. And yeah, just think about, have you changed phone numbers since you started your Facebook account? If you have, then have you changed your phone number in Facebook? It's not the most common thing you think about, but it's in there. So just some things to think about when people are going to your ads. They are going to, you might get some wrong information, and it's just normally because it's old information, but very uncommon for it to be wrong, purposefully wrong information, like 8675309 is a phone number. Let's see. Do you recommend sending them to the landing page after they submit the Facebook lead capture form? Is that an option? So yeah, so essentially once you create the ad, you're gonna be, as soon as they hit that next button, they're gonna be sent over to that landing page. So if you set them up to go to your KW Agent website, that's going to be the landing page. Are you able to customize the lead capture info gathered? Heather, not yet. I've heard of talks that they're looking into that by creating different questions. Technically, if you do run an ad through Facebook, you can change these questions. You can't through command yet, but Scott Shapiro at Facebook, he's kind of our liaison with KW. He has talked about the potential of adding our own questions in here. So that could be something down the line, and that'd be really exciting. I still use my MySpace email. Oh yeah, Bill. Find info searching the email or phone number here, cyberbackgroundchecks.com. I get the updated address, number, and email. Awesome, Michael. Great resource. Check out in there too. And I subscribe to Spokio, and that's one site I use as well. Is I'll just use Spokio, and here I'll type it out. That I think I pay $25 a quarter on that, and it's just a great way to basically stalk people, I feel like, but it's a great way to kind of check for information as well. So yeah, a couple of resources in there for you in the chat. Cool. Any questions on these lead capture forms? Okay, so that's why you want to use your Facebook lead capture form, because that's gonna, before they see that landing page, they're going to get set up on the lead capture form first before going to that landing page. Now, an instance that you might use a landing page instead for still lead capture would be, maybe you're doing a Facebook, or sorry, a home valuation ad. If they're doing a home valuation ad, you might, in most cases, you're not gonna wanna have them fill that out first. They're gonna want to go and fill out their address and then go and fill out their information after they submit their address. So just that would be a rare occasion where you'd use the landing page as lead capture versus a Facebook lead capture. Another issue is duplicate DBA logos, and that just happens sometimes if you put and DBA logo is essentially like the KW logo. There's a chance when you set up your Facebook ad, there's a spot to have it overlay a KW logo or your logo onto the ad. And sometimes people already have their KW logo on the ad. So then it gets duplicated essentially. So basically just watch and see if you have two different logos on there. Know your state, local, and market center rules for advertising. If you're unsure if you can run something in different areas or certain things, if you question it, go and talk to your broker. If you're doing it right, you won't see your ad on your page. So I've seen a lot of people say, hey, I started an ad, I'm getting leads, but I went to my Facebook page and I don't see my ad. Well, that's because it doesn't show up on your page when you go and look at your page. There is a way if you go to your Facebook business page and go under page transparency, you can see the ads you're running, but that's the only way you're going to be able to see it. Or if someone likes your page, like for example, on this ad here, I was able to find it because someone liked it, and you get a notification if someone ever likes your Facebook ad. If they like your ad, then you're going to see it as well. And sometimes you'll pop up and you'll be in the lead as well. So something to think about as well. So that's the only ways you're going to see your ad actually running, is if you're normally if you're going to get it liked or it shows up in your own feed. Okay. And oh yeah, Nancy, you've seen it as well. Yeah. So yeah, sometimes that's actually one of them I saw in my feed today of an ad I'm running, was what I just showed you, was it showed up in my feed or someone liked it. And then last issue is lack of daily lead maintenance and follow-up plan. So what I mean by that is they don't have a smart plan essentially to follow up with these leads. They don't have any type of automation. They're just going to call them whenever they feel like it and see if they can get a hold of them. There's no plan or maintenance to nurture them to a contact and in turn a potential business, future business in the pipeline. So frequent lead maintenance and follow-up. Make sure you check your leads frequently. Don't rely on notifications always. So I'll go and check if I'm running ads. I'll go check on those ads a couple times a day just to make sure and see how many ads are coming or how many leads are coming in. I also want to see just to see how they're performing, because if it's been a couple of days and I don't, or a day or two and I don't see them performing very well, I might stop that ad and then start a different one. So it's very good to check them as well for a couple of different purposes. Assign tags. So once you get these leads in here, I highly suggest tagging them so they're easier to sort when you're setting them up on different things such as email campaigns, smart plans, and other sort. It's a lot easier to filter your contacts by tags. I recommend adding a tag to anyone that comes through on your Facebook ad. And then add them to a smart plan. Make sure there's smart plans out there to be able to add them to, so you can automatically set them up on it, set it and forget it in terms to a degree where it's automatically going to text them and automatically email them for you. So all you've got to do is make those calls to check in as well. But I've definitely made connections via text and email with Facebook leads and have been able to build clients from it. Tim asks, where can you find smart plans that are already made? I'll tell you what, everyone, when I send this out, this recording out to everyone, I'll include a Facebook smart plan that I put together, and you'll have the opportunity to utilize that Facebook ad and then our Facebook smart plan. And there's also a feature coming out in just a couple weeks at Mega Camp, I believe, where you're going to be able to download other people's shared smart plans. So if they share their smart plan for a Facebook ad or something like that onto their smart plans, you're going to be able to download someone else's smart plan if they decide to share it, of course. But that will be a feature as well. Are you recommended to use our existing Facebook page and we have to open a new one, or only for real estate? Because on my personal Facebook, I have many friends, and for new one, we'll need to get all these new friends. So actually, you're not doing it on a personal page. You have to run it on a business page. That's the only way you can run ads through Facebook. So you will just need to create a business Facebook page, and that connects to your personal account. So they run side by side. And so you actually don't have a login for your business account. You have just you go to your business account through your personal, if that makes sense. So you have to have a business account to run that. You don't have to add friends to it. A page is different than a personal Facebook. So just hopefully that kind of makes sense for you. Set it and forget it, yes. Okay, type of non-listing Facebook ads. Now we're gonna get into the masterminding here. Now, think about this. Is it possible to connect a chatbot? Not at this time, sorry, no. So first ad idea is search by area. So I'm gonna jump into, let's move this. Just a second, let's move this out of the way. Okay, so the first, I'm gonna go to my KW site. So I'm going to renosparks.kw.com is my website. So if you ever go here, you can just see right here, search by city, neighborhood, address, school district, or zip. So you can just type things in here. Let's just say, I'm gonna type in, since I'm in Reno, we're gonna do Reno, Nevada. We'll click on that. It's normally gonna ask for a location. Or to use my location. Is it going to? Let's see, and let's clear these filters. I had filters set up. and it's going to search for homes in that area. You can see that the Reno city limits are highlighted in blue here. So I could literally just do a search for homes in Reno and keep it as simple as that. Now, this is one I did for a Facebook ad in for another city. I know a lot of people come to Reno from California because one, California, the California border is just right next to us. Actually, let me switch the map. So there's California is right here. So as you can see, the city borders up in some areas up against California. So we get a lot of people from Sacramento and the Bay Area coming to Reno. So if I wanted to run an ad, which I'm going to show you an example of in a bit, of an ad I'm running in Sacramento for move to Nevada. We don't have state income tax. There's some things I avoided saying on the ad to not offend anyone wanting to move away, but obviously there's a lot of people that want to move away from California with certain things going on. So between fires and brownouts and things like that. So we've seen a lot of intake of people coming from California to Reno. And with that said, you know, a lot of other markets have similar things of people coming in from certain areas. You can definitely use the referrals page and use the referral patterns option in command. And if you have questions of referral patterns to see where agent or clients are coming in from, feel free to message me, garrettstewart@kw.com, and I'm more than happy to send you a more information on that. But and just for the sake of time, I don't want to go over that one with you today. But you can see Reno on this search. It says reno.sparks.kw.com, search Nevada/Reno. And then it's not showing the neighborhoods right now. So this is a site that's a linkable site. So if I post that anywhere, this is the exact view they're going to get as well. So this could be a landing page that I run in California and say, hey, look for homes in Reno. Don't pay any state income tax, blah, blah, blah. All that fun jazz you could do to promote it. So that's just one idea, is utilizing by area. I could also get a little bit more local. I could just do a by zip code. I could say 89511. And that's going to highlight the zip code 89511 here in Reno. And see, as you can see, all those markers now are in 89511. And you can see that's what the search option is up here too. You can also do different search by neighborhood. So if you wanted to do an ad and say, who wants to live in Arrow Creek, which Arrow Creek is a very nice neighborhood here in Reno, and you'll see the price range is up in Arrow Creek. Obviously, you have you're going to have a lot more, but besides land, you're going to pretty much most of them are $1 million plus homes. And one, you can also filter this. So if you're like, I don't want the land to show up, you can actually hit this property type and just say, I want houses to show up. So that way you're not having the land show up on here as well. And it just takes just a second to filter that out. And now I just have the homes, so I can show off the homes out there. Because obviously I would love to sell with some $1 million homes here in Reno. And so as you can see, this is all filtered in here. So I could say, look at homes in Arrow Creek today. And I could run an ad just for that and hopefully capture some people that way. So think about how you're targeting your people, what people might want to see, and utilize those little search criteria by area. And you know, if you're saying houses, make sure you click on houses. It does default to active only, so just that should help you there. So look at all those feature requests. So you can also do school district. Here in Reno, we pretty much just have one school district, the Washoe County School District. So I wouldn't do school district here, but some areas might, that might be a good potential for you. Search by price point. So a really popular ad I've had success with is under a certain price range. So you could run an ad and say, whoops, let's see. You could say, oh, Reno. And what I'm showing you with these links is this is what's going to be the landing page that you send people to when you run an ad. So you could say houses that are priced under the median home price here is $400,000-ish. So let's just say under $400,000. So below median home price. And now you can see, oh, look, here's a bunch of homes under $400,000 in Reno. So people have the opportunity to look at homes that way. And so you can utilize that. And as you can see on that search, to make sure you've got this right, you could look and see and be like, okay, yep, the sale price 400,000. It's a house. It's in Reno, Nevada. So you can kind of see the search parameters are actually in the website address, the URL. So I would copy that URL and paste it when I'm creating the ad, and that's what the landing page is going to be. That's where I'm sending them to after they give me their information. So utilizing that. And one thing I'll note too is higher price points may not fetch as many leads. So if you're saying, like I said, the median home price here in Reno is $400,000. If I were to say, look at homes under $1 million, you know, some people saying under $1 million is going to definitely filter out a lot of people. So you might get some people that are interested in that, but just know you're filtering out a lot of people, and you might have not as many leads on that. So just think about that when you are running those ads. You can search by specs. So you could run a search by bedroom, bathroom, or I like lot size, or year built, or even square feet. So one popular one I've done in the past was an ad that said, these are homes, take a look at homes that are on an acre that were built in 2020. And so that way people could be like, oh, I want a new built home that was built in 2020 and is sitting on an acre. Well, just because of that, they're able to, you could search right in there. So again, on my website, I could just, we'll reset that price range, and I could say under this more tab, I can say choose lot size, and you can do by square foot or acre, but so you could say 1 acre or less, or whoops, I went the wrong way on that search. Whoopsies. We want max on acres, but we want at least 1 acre or more. Okay, there we go. And I could say year built. And you could choose, you know, as I built in the last 5 years if I wanted to, or something like that. Or you can bump that up to 2020. And that's going to show up all the different homes. Doesn't look like there's any homes going on right now with that search criteria, unfortunately. Let's see, did I have any? That might be under new construction or something, but doesn't look like anything in the Reno area meets that qualification, but you can run those types of ads if the people are looking for specific things like that. Other ones, search by recently reduced homes. This is another great one I've had a lot of success with. Is, you know, people are looking for deals, right? What's a good deal for a home? All that fun stuff. Well, you can go and actually under the more, let's reset that. Under more, you can scroll down to the bottom, and there's this little tab, price reduced in the last 7 days. So I can click that little tab, and that's going to show me all the listings in Reno. I'm still in Reno, that were reduced in the last 7 days. So that was reduced 7,000, that was reduced 1,000, 41,000, 7,000. So it shows how much too, so people can see, hey, look, these are homes that are have reduced their price. So that's another very successful way to do it. And you can combine that with other filters. So if you, you know, you could say homes that are under 500,000 that have reduced their price in the last 7 days, or something like that. You could do that. Keller mortgage ads. You saw that one example I had right here, where you could do an ad for that. So you can actually utilize your Keller mortgage landing page that you have. So, and just so you know, more serious buyers will be the ones clicking on this one. So it's going to cost a little bit more per lead. So just be aware of that when you're running these ads. These are people that could get or have a little bit more, how should I say it? They're going to be a little bit more interested in getting a mortgage now. So they might be a little bit more serious buyers. Could use the 0 results found to help generate listing leads. Yeah, That's a great, great point, Jeff. Have to run. Oh, thanks, Tim. Okay. And then, so yeah, just keep that in mind. On those Keller Mortgage ads, how you're going to find that, and I think I'm going to have this linked at the end of the slides, but there's portal.kellermortgage.com. There is some great social media stuff that you can do for material for this, and you can set up your landing page through here. So I think it's under Refer a Client. Let's see, I can't remember exactly. Is it Keller Mortgage Settings? Oh, here we go. Yeah, under Keller Mortgage Settings, I have my personal link right here, and I can copy that link and then share this pre-approval link out to potential buyers. So that could be the landing page instead of actually my KW agent website. So just an idea on there. Okay. And then home value ads. Now, these are a seller-focused ad. They're statistically a higher cost per lead. There's obviously going to be less sellers out there than there are buyers, especially right now. But just keep that in mind. There's more people looking for homes than looking to sell. So I've seen a lot more success of people looking for buyers, and then those buyers end up having to sell as well. So just keep that in mind. But some people have run home value ads and had some success, but you are going to be paying, like I know KW Command Facebook ads on average around $1 to $2 per lead. These might be, you know, $5 a lead or more. So just keep that in mind. You might be paying more per lead. You might have, but hopefully then be a little bit more realistic of a lead for you as well. So definitely play with that and see how that goes, but definitely plan to pay a little bit more on those ads. We don't have a home valuation ad on our Facebook or on our KW agent site, but you can embed it if you want help with that. I'll show you on my website where you can learn how to add it. But like on my KW agent site, I actually added that as a page on here. So when someone goes and this is the landing page they go to, they see get my home's value, and this is where they'll go. And it's just simply a input form where they'll put in their information, and then I'll send them the info. So that is a potential as well. Or if you're already paying for a different home valuation, Cloud CMA is a popular one, which you can embed in your KW agent sites. I have the video how to do that actually. But yeah, there's a few different options for you. And then finally, a seller guide or other type of value. Oh, sorry. Bill said, if you have previously used Keller Mortgage, you can see how much you've saved your clients and use those stats in your ad. Yes, great, Bill. Yeah, I know you've been killing it with the Keller Mortgage with your clients down there in Arizona. So yeah, for sure, good point. And then finally, the last one is the seller guide. So basically find opportunities to offer value to potential sellers. So things like this one is things to do to up the value of your home, you know, increase your equity, whatever it is. You could run an ad like that of some type of value to offer to these potential clients or sellers. So getting that type of value out there might be successful as well. So I've had more success for the seller value ads versus the home value ads when I'm doing seller focused. So just keep that in mind. There's so many home valuation ads out there at this point. They're a little oversaturated. So see if you have some type of, you could just find an article and say that has, you know, 10 things to do to your home to increase the value of your home today or something like that. Send them to that site. And then just capture their information. So it's up to you, but that's a great opportunity. I also pay for a, one option that I did on an ad of mine was I pay for Keeping Current Matters, and they have things to do when selling your home in the fall. And so I've paid for that. And so I've like ran ads for that and had success. So that's an option as well. So there's a few different ways to different guides and things out there that you could purchase, subscribe to, things like that. Have you done an ad for similar guide for buyers? I actually have not, Heather. That is a great opportunity as well. That doesn't have to be, like you said, a seller guide. It could be a buyer's guide. And you could just simply advertise that you have a guide on your agent site. I don't know if you know, but if you log in to your command site or to your agent site, your guide will actually pop up here to walk them through the process of buying or selling a home. You could keep it as simple as that and say, learn the steps. I don't know how valuable that might be, and people might get a little bit more irritated, but yeah, it does have a buyer seller guide on there as well. Yeah, Tamara, I've had KCM for a few years. I like it. It's just good material that I just post. It'll auto post to my Facebook for me, so it's kind of nice just to have material on there when I'm bad at posting to Facebook all the time. I do like the lead capture guides on there though. Okay, we've got 8 minutes left, so I want to cruise through and demo just a basic ad setup and what this looks like. If they enter their info as lead capture, then they could be sent to the guide as a buyer maybe. Yeah, so that's normally what I do is once they enter their information in the lead capture, then I'll just send them the guides. Is a great way to do it, so. Okay, so I wanted to show you some example ones I've done recently. Some had success. I started a bunch today, so they're running a little bit heavier and kind of range. So here's that price reduced homes I did. This one didn't have as much success as I had hoped, and I'll probably play with it a little bit more. This was the one I did though, and if I were to do this again, I'd probably want to do more of a rectangular ad. I like the look of that a little bit more just when people are scrolling. I feel like it's a little bit more fitting into a Facebook page, but it would show off this a little bit more, that this is Reno in the background. So just some thoughts there. Under $400,000. Here's an ad I did, under $400,000. This one I simply took a screenshot for the image, and I was able to, and I just went, like I just did on my command site or KW agent site, I just did that search and then took a screenshot of that picture or of what the results were and used that for my ad. So currently I started it. I've got 2 leads, paying $2.45 a lead. So it started this morning, so it's still kind of balancing out at this point, but that's an option as well. As you can see, all my ads have emojis on it. Emojis statistically have better results. Move to Reno. So this is one I ran in Sacramento. I've gotten 3 leads from it. So I've had some good success so far. This one has multiple pictures on it, so I like those a lot of times as well. Looking at moving to Northern Nevada, take advantage of no state income tax, lower cost of living, and more. Start finding that dream home today. And you can see I have just a stock image of a home. I have a nice picture of the Reno sign, and just a picture of a cute kitchen. So it doesn't have to be anything fancy or anything like that. It could be pretty simple. And basically, this just took them to a home search in Reno. So if they entered their info as lead capture, then they could be sent the guy. Or wait, do you have some example ads where you used video? I didn't, Heather. I meant to before this, and I missed it. I've ran ads before, but not as a lead capture. I have my YouTube channel for market statistics for the area, and I've ran ads for that. But that's more just to get eyeballs on the face or on it. So it's impression based. It's not lead capture. I haven't done any lead capture ads for video actually yet. So I'd love if someone's had success with that. Throw it in the chat or something. I'd love to see what you've done. On a successful ad you had, what is the most leads you captured and closed? Have you had an ad that didn't bring any leads? I'll answer your last question first. Have you had an ad that didn't bring any leads? Yes. Normally I'll watch it, and if after a day or two I'm not getting any leads or activity, I will cut it off. I'll just nip it in the bud and figure out what went wrong and try again. Sometimes I just edit, make a small little adjustment. It works better the next time. Some people have ran 2 ads side by side with just some little differences of interests and things like that, and have had better success. So definitely play with it. Some leads I've done, my most successful ad, I got 13 cents per lead. And with that 13 cents per lead, I was able to, I have a client I'm currently shopping homes with right now that was 3 to 6 months out when I captured her. So they do work, and you just got to nurture them for till they're ready. So yeah. Okay, so yeah, this one was, again, I moved to Reno. I just called it because it was the California buyers. And then I did like a Keller Mortgage ad here. Like I said, the Keller Mortgage ad is going to be a little bit more cost per lead. As you can see, I've spent almost $5 and haven't got a lead yet. But if I do get one captured, it's going to be a more serious buyer. So I am aware that that one's going to cost a bit more per lead. All right, let's see. I'm going to see. Haley posted a picture in the chat. Oh, awesome. Looks like she's had some good success with some leads in there. So they were all the same ad video with different copy for targeting cities. Thank you for submitting that in there. So if you guys want to see some results of video ads, that's in the chat. Okay, finishing up because we just got a few minutes left so I can get to questions. So that is the big thing on there, setting that up. So I do want to show you the basics for setting up an ad. Once you go to campaigns, you can just hit this create a new campaign in the top right corner and hit social ad. And social ad, this is where you're going to enter that campaign name that you're going to be able to remember later down the line of 3-6 months out or whatever, whenever they're ready to, when you're connecting with them, you know what ad they came from. And then you'll select these to help you know what your goal is with this. Advertise listing is obviously going to link it to an existing listing. These other buttons are more going to just change the suggested ad copy and not necessarily change much in terms of Facebook prefixes of pushing it out to people. So this is more for ad tracking than anything, and then just changes some text in there. So just be aware, this isn't a huge, choosing what this is isn't going to drastically change your ad results at all. So if you're like, oh, I'm gonna do one for brand awareness and do one attract listings and run the same exact ad, it's not going to change how the ad is ran. So just so you know. And then finally, you'll just choose Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And then once you choose all of that, you'll just go through that process of setting up the ad. If you have any questions on that, again, you can always reach out to me and ask some questions on that. I do want to finish up on time. I try to keep all my classes on time. So some resources for creating ad media. So, pictures to put in these ads and things like that. Obviously, if you're not using a listing, you're going to need to use some type of pictures and things like that. Where can you get pictures if you besides of listings? One of my favorites is actually a site called unsplash.com. It has uncopywritten images. So if I just wanted to put kitchen, I could type in kitchen, and it's going to show some pictures of some really nice kitchens. And you can just download them. They're non-copywritten images, so you can share them on your Facebook ads and stuff, and you have the rights to use that. Next one, Keller Mortgage Portal. We already talked about that. That's portal.kellermortgage.com. That has ad images on there that you can use, and some wording for your ads. You can utilize designs. So within designs, you can, like that price reduced homes I created right here in designs, and you can utilize that to create them. They also have stock images in design. So if you open a design, you can jump in and actually use some stock images in there. So if you open up a design, and then you're going to click on the images button in the corner here and hit under company, and so images, company, and then these are all stock images, like neighborhoods. If you wanted a stock image of a neighborhood or something like that, you can use these free images that Keller Williams owns. So some cute ones of neighborhoods, kids getting on a school bus. So if you did a school-based ad. So that's all in designs. Screenshots. So just utilizing a screenshot of your map on your KW agent site. So I'm going to leave it open to Q&A now, but before I do that, so prepare your questions. If you want any help, questions, things like that, you can always check out my website, commandconsult.com. I'd love to answer and help you in any way in Command, whether it's a consultation, setting up your website, or anything like that. If you have any other questions, you can always email me at garrettstewart@kw.com. thank you everyone for hopping on and hanging out with me. Hopefully you got some value from this. And also I see Stefan posted a bunch of free other sites on there as well as Unsplash, so Pixabay and things like that. So thank you for posting those links in there. So I will leave it to Q&A now. Will you have a recording of this video? Yes, I will be emailing this out probably either later today or tomorrow. I promise you I'll have it out before the weekend though. Thank you everyone for hopping on. I appreciate it. I'll hang out for another minute or two. If anyone has any questions, just you can either unmute yourself or throw it in the chat. Otherwise, have an amazing week. Rest of your week and weekend coming up, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Hey, Garrett, I did have one quick question for you, if that's all right.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I'm Chris. Nice to meet you. I'm from Mililani and Hawaii here. I'm a pretty fresh agent, and I was just wondering, would you recommend using your personal Facebook and then just having the business account, the business Facebook account linked there right in, and then just kind of, or would you, some people have said they just make their personal account their business account, and I was just wondering what you recommend.
Technically, Facebook doesn't allow that, and so sometimes I've seen agents actually have their Facebook ad or Facebook account deactivated because they did that.
Okay.
But also you can't run ads through if it's considered a personal account. So you can't actually connect it in here. So if you go into your like settings in your command account to like go to connect your Facebook page in here, while technically you're so here's your Facebook post scheduling, but you also have your ads manager down here. I've connected my Facebook business page here, but and so like it has my account on there. But if that's how it connects to all the Facebook pages I connect to. So I manage 4 different Facebook pages, so I can do ads on all those different pages and things like that. So it's connected to my personal account, but my business account is connected to my personal account because that way I can manage all my different pages through here. So yeah.
Great. That makes sense. Thank you. That makes the decision a lot easier for me. Thank you.
All right, I see a question. Tamara, I am bilingual agent. Is there a way I can add or choose your language on your Facebook page, app, and site? Not that I know of. Yeah, I believe they've talked about adding in some more like language type stuff in there, but at this time, I don't believe so, unfortunately.
So right now I can use I-don't command on Facebook, because I imagine I speak both Portuguese and English, of course, and
okay.
I imagine that there are tons of Spanish-speaking agents that have come across this problem. So I don't want to reinvent the wheel, but I haven't been able to do it.
Yeah, it's that one would probably be a little bit more difficult in terms of that. Yeah, there's no way to like choose a language when setting up the ad. So I'm not sure in other there's no way, like even on like the agent site, for example, there's no way to like change the language on here. Some pages will can automatically change the language for you. I know I believe Safari is about to roll that out in a few weeks, so it'll automatically change to your native language. But other than that, I'm not sure. You can't do that, at least on a command sites for agent sites. So
can I do like 2 pages? Can I have access to 2 pages on the command site, have both of them active?
Like agent websites?
Yeah.
What you could do is, you couldn't do 2 pages, but what you could do is if you're sending them to a certain thing, you could just send them to a certain page on your site that has, that's in Spanish. So, if you wanted to have like info and things like that on there, you could just have it all be in Spanish. That would be the only real way to think about it. But I mean, it's kind of like it's a kind of a band-aid for the problem that probably just needs to be addressed at a future time. So I would probably more push that towards going to ideas.kw.com and suggesting there to get that taken care of. Yeah.
All right, thanks.
Yeah. Any other questions? All right, everyone. thanks for hopping off. If you have any other questions, you can always just shoot me an email. I look forward to talking to you guys later. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.